Right. Let's see if this is actually working here. I don't know if this is working or not. Did we actually go live or what? Is this actually live? Hold on a second. What is going on? Why is this not popping up on my thingy? Oh, bloody YouTube. God damn it. There we go. Bloody thing. I don't know why it does that. Let's check it out. Have you audio and video? There we go. Hey, wait, bloody YouTube app. I swear to God. So, my friends, well, yeah, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody is, safe and well. My friends, we're going to take a look at an interesting mod that has appeared on the quote unquote interwebs and that type of thing. I thought it might be interesting to take a look at the mod, see what it was like. Interesting thing about this mod is that a few weeks ago, actually, I posted about this particular brand and stuff like that. So it was interesting to actually see it pop up on the old interwebs and that type of thing. So yeah, I think it'll be quite interesting to actually look at the mod here and see what it's like. There we go. Right, so yeah, we'll take a look at the mod and we'll see what it's like. Okay. So as you can probably see from the stream title, my friends, this is an American brand. It's from RBR Enterprises. RBR Enterprises specialize in self-propelled spreaders and sprayers. They have a range of products. They have, as you can see it here, look, they have the Vector 390. They have the Vector 430. The Venturi, which is kind of a sprayer type thing. Venturi, and then the Vortex. That looks like a slurry tanker, actually. So basically, yesterday, on itch.io. Now, if you look in the description, my friends, you will find the original link to this particular mod, right? But I will show it you here. So this is a mod from AW Modding, okay? And you can actually, go to his itch.io and you'll be able to download all his various mods, follow him, and blah, 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 right? So, this particular person has made a highly detailed, pretty bloody accurate version of the real world RBR Vector. So yeah, you can download the original mod from his itch.io website, and it's linked below. The original file size is 216 megabytes. Now, for a mod, or any mod, let's be honest, any mod that is that file size means a few things. I mean, for example, this mod would not be accepted on the mod hub. It is just simply too damn large. Big Daddy, how are you, sir? How are things? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that. So yeah, this would be rejected by the mod hub. It's just too large, But there is a reason why it is so large, and I'll show it to you as we go along. So yeah, AW modding, the RBR Vector. So this is the current model available from RBR, which is the Vector 390, right? Now, the modder in question has gone with an older model of this, so he's gone with the Vector 380. From what I can tell, that dates to about, the latest model I saw was around 2020, but it seems to be from around 2018 to 2021, something like that, So it is an older model of the Vector, right? But they have a newer version, obviously, of the Vector 390. Now, if you go to the bottom here, it gives you all the specifications, right? Okay. fuel capacity, diesel depth, transmission, blah blah blah, the whole 9 yards. Now, what I've been trying to establish is, obviously this is an older 380 model. I've been trying to find the real world specifications, and that type of thing. So, and then over here, then I've pulled up the new leader website. So basically, on the back of the Vector, they have a new leader tank. You can see it there. Look, it's a new leader NL4500. Here's the official website. Okay, and it tells you all the various specifications and stuff like that. So in the real world, this particular new leader spreader, it spreads it spreads fertilizer at 32 meters or 105 foot. It spreads lime at 60 foot or 18.2 meters. But in game, that would be 18 meters. So you have 18 and 32, right? So basically, what I've been trying to do is I looked at the original modder's zip folder and the files and his XML, and he had some stuff missing, you know. So what I've done with the mod is I've done my own personal private edit of his mod and kind of filled in certain things, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? To basically try and make it more, real world accurate and that type of thing. Okay. So here is your mod. Now, once again, my friends, the file structure and the zip folder and everything, I've done my own thing here. I've moved things around and it changed things. So his original, zip file will look different to mine, right? So the poly count on this particular mod is astronomical, and I mean that. It is astronomical. It is over 2 million. 2,034,000 polys on this thing. But I will say one thing for the mod: it is extremely highly detailed. So the 3D modeling, what he's done is he's basically he's modeled each individual part and then put it all together, right? Now what he's also done is he's created dirt and wear for each individual parts, right? So that contributes to the file size. Okay, so if we look over here and we look at the textures, look at all the specular maps he has there, dozens and dozens of them, and he's got normal maps for everything as well, right? And then if you go over here as well, look, a whole, I mean, there's just chock full of files. So these are all basically the dirt and wears, the normal maps and that type of thing. Can you make it spread 60 and go? You probably could, Faber. I'm sure you absolutely could. I mean, I've been editing the XML to try and get it to be more real world accurate. So his original XML entries for the Lyman Fert were 18 meters, for Lyman Fert, but that's not real world accurate. So I went down here to the sprayer section and I've been editing this section here. So I've made it, the usage scales working with is 32. For fertilizer down here, then I've got the usage scale working with is 18. But it needs a little bit more than that though, because you actually have to go into the i3D file and adjust the spreader nodes and that type of stuff. But just getting back to the basic mod here. So what he's done is, he's got each individual piece here. For example, if I get down here, he has the engine, look, right? Okay. All right. Now this engine alone is 55,000 polys, right? Right. But look at it's got a massive amount of detail he's got in this. Look. Okay. And unfortunately, it doesn't have a fan. It's missing a fan, and he's got some belts. See there in here. So these are all the dynos or whatever they call them. And you can see there's belts and stuff that he's modeled, but none of these actually spin, as far as I know. But yeah, it's a massively detailed thing he's done here. He's got all the hoses. Look at the textures on that. Look, kind of the hose there. This is transparent as well inside. If I go in there, Should be. Yeah, it's transparent in here as well. You've got the spreader on the back, and you've got all the stuff there. But he's in terms of the 3D model, it is extremely high poly, high detailed, and high quality. It's a visually it's a fantastic looking mod, and it's very very accurate to the real world piece of equipment. So you're looking cab here. He's got the monitor. He's got the Raven. So these are all these logos are based on the real world piece of equipment. There are some animations in cab. For example, the steering column here is animated. Right. So when you there's an enter and exit animation. If you enter the vehicle, that steering column will move down into the correct position. The ladder here is animated as well. Right. No interactive control. No simple IC. In cabin or anything like that. The doors don't open and that type of thing. So might maybe consider a first version, or he may add things in later updates and that type of thing. Some prefabs here from the mod hub. This is a prefab from the mod hub. This sensor up here is a prefab from the mod hub. I'd probably do my own things and make them I'd make them a little bit more real world accurate. I don't know where this new leader came from. I know custom modding has a new leader. I'm kind of wondering, where did he get this new leader back from? The box, right? I'm just wondering where he got that from. Did he make it himself, or is it based on some other person's work? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I haven't compared the custom modding 3D model to what we have here. So that's just kind of speculation on my part. Brian, how are you, sir? How are things? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well, sir. Faber, well, if we can, we'll be willing. Yeah. Well, Faber, I can't send you my copy of this mod. What I can do is I can maybe send you the XML entries and that type of thing, but I can't send you this particular mod because I don't I don't have permission. I'm allowed to edit any mod, his mod, any mod. I can edit myself and do my own thing with it if I want to. I can't distribute it, or I can't claim ownership. This is not my mod, just to be clear. So this is not my mod. What I'm showing here is basically my own kind of private edit of it, if that makes sense. So, as I said, in the description, I have linked the original Modder's Itch website, and you can download the mod from there, okay? So, I just wanted to show off the mod itself because he's done a fantastic amount of work in this thing. He really, really has. Just the level of detail, the level of quality is absolutely superb. But you're going to have some issues with this mod. Especially if you're on maybe a lower end GPU or PC. So I'm running this mod through test runner. Now, once again, my test runner results will be different to the original file because I've done my own thing with it and fixed certain things up, if that makes sense. But if you go down to the bottom here, look, so you can see here you have the faulty i3Ds. So this is the shape warning for consoles, and you have the shape warning for PC. So basically on consoles, you're allowed 8,192 kilobyte in the shape size. On PC, it's double that, okay? The total poly count for this particular mod, and this is just the main vector, is, would say 1.65 million. Right, and then the wheels are 386,000. So that's it's 2,034,000 poly count on this particular mod. That is astronomical. Even the biggest Giants mods. So, for example, the premium expansion. They have the potato harvesters and that type of thing. So those particular potato harvesters, they're about nearly 600,000 poly count. So yeah, and that's one of the largest kind of Giants mods, in terms of poly count. For example, the mod hub only allows 250,000 poly count. for most mods. They will make some exceptions. There are some PC mods that exceed 250k poly count limit, but in general, the kind of the modded rules is 250k. But this far exceeds it, and that type of thing. So it's just an astronomically large mod in terms of poly count, and that's going to take a hit on your in-game FPS and that type of thing. So I would be a little bit wary in terms of running this mod on a low-end GPU. So for example, I'm running on a laptop here. I've got a 3060 laptop. So I've got a 3060 laptop, which isn't a full fat 3060. It's not a desktop graphics card or anything. So once again, the icon you're seeing here, I've done my own thing with it, okay? So you can see here, author, AW modding and Duramax, right? So it's my file size is 212 megabytes. So I've added some of the information in here, right? And that type of thing. So we'll go through kind of the specs and everything of the mod, right? And we'll show it in game. Where is it again? Where's here? Okay. So yeah, in terms of just the 3D modeling and that type of thing, it looks superb. And as far as I'm aware, and I did check, it is the only RBR mod out there. Even there's none on the mod hub. And there are none on the quote unquote dodgy websites, because I checked, right? So this is a brand new thing. It's only out I don't know, but 16 hours or something like that. So here we go. We have the RBR set propelled spreader. Okay. Right. So we'll just take a quick look around it. So as you can see there, it is an absolutely beautiful piece of kit. It really is. So the red color here is kind of representative of the real world, piece of machinery. Okay. So we have the RBR Vector, right? So this particular model is kind of a slightly older model. It's the Vector 380, 380 horsepower, manual transmission, diesel and DEF. So these are based on what he has input. So 587 liters of diesel, and it's 57 liters of DEF. The working speed is 80 kilometers per hour or 49 mph. So you've got some options here in terms of the tank capacities. So you've got a standard capacity of 9,200 liters, and then you've got an extension which puts it up to 14,500. Right. So the weight of this particular vehicle is 16.7 tons. The working speed is 26 kilometers an hour or 16 mph. Okay. So you have the engine set up. Hey Gremlin, how are you? How are things? Thank you for tuning in. Gremlin is one of our Discord channel members for the My Games Team Discord channel. We do actually have a Discord channel. So yeah, so you saw the tank option here. Okay, you have standard and you have extension, 3,600 for that. Okay, you have the engine setup. So you have the Vector 380, and then you have the Vector 430, and he has an object change in terms of the decal on the nose there. Look, okay. So the 430 is an extra 6,500. You've got wheel setup. So these are kind of the standard tires, kind of the bigger tires. You've got floaters, 12 grand for those. You've got the big floaters, so they are quite large, as you can see. The rims change as well, as far as I can tell. You have the row crops, so these are the skinny boys, okay. And then you have the row crop wide. So basically, it moves them out slightly. Okay. So the kind of the diameter, it moves out slightly farther. We're going to go with the wides for the purposes of the stream here, because I think they look quite appropriate. So inside then, he's got a monitor setup. Now you can't really see it. Can I go in cab? Whoa! How am I able to activate the engine? Whoa! I can start engine in the shop. Is that a thing? So yeah, I've got the shop. I've got a mod from the mod hub where you can actually go in cab and see the interior and stuff, right? So we'll just take a look inside, okay? So again, very highly detailed. So you've got up here in front, you've got this kind of a, I guess it's kind of like a clock type thing, but as far as I know, that doesn't actually work, right? So you've got the monitors here, you've got the setup here. So a lot of this stuff is actually illuminated, right? So when you'll see it when I go in game. So once again, the steering column is animated. It's got an enter and exit animation. So when you enter and exit the vehicle, that steering column will go down. The door does not open. And as I said, the ladder here is animated as well. All right, thank you, Big Daddy, sir. I appreciate you tuning in, and God willing, we shall see you again. So yeah, we have an option here. We have the Raven row guidance, and if I click yes, now you can't see any change here, but once you go in, we'll say in game, you'll actually see that, right? So I guess that's like a guidance system, for a custom guidance system. Window tint. So you have a clear glass, and then you have a dark. That's very dark. I mean, you would not be able to see out of that in the real world. That's just way too dark. But that is actually an option in the real world, a window tint, but it's not that dark. You know what I mean? It's kind of a, it wouldn't be that extreme, but it just, not in the real world anyway. But anyways, for the purposes, we're going to leave it at this. Lubricating grease, you can ignore that. That's a secondary mod. GPS, you can ignore this because I have the GPS mod installed. Design color, you basically can change. So that's kind of the default configuration, and you can put it like that, right? No license plates on this particular mod. Just be aware of that. So my advice to the modder would be add license plates where possible. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he just didn't have the space, but I could probably find a couple of spots there to, add license plates to this particular mod, right? So I'm just going to kind of move this off a little bit. So here's your starting animations here, right? So all these all this stuff here on the the dashboard, the monitors, these are all based on the real world vector because I've looked at pictures and stuff. I'm just going to move this off a little bit. Okay. So there's your steering column. Now, another thing I want to mention, the original mod, right? The original mod, there are no sound schemes for these animations. So, see that steering column when it goes down, right? There's no sound scheme associated for that. I've added that myself, right? Another sound scheme that is not on the original mod here is for the folding and unfolding of the wheels, right? So you can actually start the engine here. So you can actually move the wheels in and out. See that? So I've actually added a sound scheme for these animations. See that? So those are not on the original mod. Just be aware of that. So, the original mod had some stuff missing, and I kind of, filled in the blanks, if that makes sense. So we have your RBR Vector 430. So you can see there that is actually animated, look. See that? And there's a sound scheme associated with with that as well. And you can see the steering column going up as well. No simple IC, No interactive controls, so nothing in here is you know, the doors don't open. There's no, you know, you can't really, you know, there's nothing in here really, you know. But maybe he'll do that in an update. So he's got some wheel options here. You see, you can crab steering. So you have all-wheel steering, right? You know, the usual stuff you would expect. And then he has front-wheel steering, right? Okay. Custom sounds for the engine. He's got custom gear shifting. So he's done his own motor configuration section. You know, he's added his own stuff, if that makes sense. So, you know, as it shift gears, you know, the sounds will change. The brake force is a little bit soft, if that makes sense. I would certainly try and tighten up that brake force on this thing. So you have your lights, okay? Your blinkies, your hazards, left and right. You've got a couple of stages of lights here on the vehicle here. You've got a first stage and then a second stage. Okay. And you've got some lights at the side. You might look at that at night time, I think. So it's got pretty, you know, it's got a good, you know, the lighting at nighttime is pretty damn good. You know, it covers pretty much everything. So one thing I noticed about this particular mod here is that it doesn't have standard kind of brake lights. Let me show you what I mean by that. Right? If we get this thing here, right, this birth dude, right? So you see the way the lights are kind of on automatically, right? See the way the, you know, the red lights are on. That isn't in this particular mod. No matter what you do, those lights, they're only stop lights. If that makes sense. Hey Mouse, how are you, sir? How are things? Thank you for tuning in, my friend. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well, sir. Okay. So this is kind of what it looks like at night time. So as I said up here, you can see up here, my friends. So there really should be like a digital, you know, LCD clock up here, right? So over here, none of this stuff actually works. So this is static. It's not, you know what I mean? None of it is it's not showing you any real live information. Whereas this does, you know what I mean? So, you know, everything here kind of works on the day, you know, the display and that type of thing. So that's another thing that maybe the modder should consider adding, is to have, you know, the dashboard kind of, you know, display, you know, real world information about the vehicle. And the other stuff up here, these are kind of static images. Right. But overall, I think he's done a bloody good job, you know. And it's a brand new brand. There's nothing else out there for RBR as far as I'm aware. And I did check. And it's just a, you know, really, really highly detailed, high quality mod, you know. He's done a superb job with it. It looks fantastic. At the end of the day, yes, it's a fertilizer, you know, self-propelled fertilizer spreader. So in the real world, as far as I'm aware, these beds come off, so you can swap them out for sprayers or slurry tankers and that type of thing. You know what I mean? As far as I'm aware, anyways. But it's a as I said, it's a new brand. It's a brand that I recently became aware of. I think he's done a really, really superb job with it, that type of thing, you know. CFL, how are you? How are things? Thank you for tuning in. So, you know, it's going to function and operate as one would expect. It is at the end of the day a lime spreader and a fertilizer spreader. I don't know if I own this field. I don't. Okay. I was wondering about that actually. Okay. So there's a few little issues in terms of the working widths on this thing. Now clearly that is like 32 meters, right? Okay. So you've got two effects here at the back, right? So you got the effect on the ground, right? The lime on the ground, and then you have this spreader effect, right? But they don't match, right? You see that? So the widths don't actually match. And you can actually see that the kind of the spreader effect is way ahead. You see that? So realistically, it should be spraying back here on the ground where it's spraying up here, if that makes sense. So there needs to be some adjustments to how the you know, the sprayer effects and how it discharges and that type of thing. It's you know, it's not quite correct at the moment, as you can see. So this is the fert one. You can fill this with just with fertilizer. I don't know if anything needs to be fertilized or anything. It doesn't look like it, anyways. Everything seems to be done. So yeah, you have your all-wheel steering, and then you have your front wheel. Yes, Big Daddy, correct. That's exactly what I was trying to relay. It's got brake lights, but no kind of standard lights, as you can see there. Look. That's and you know, an XML thing that could be certainly be adjusted. So the lime spreader is fine, right? So that's 32 meters as well. Look, and the spray effect is 32 meters. So the fert spreader needs some adjustment, basically. You know. So what I'm trying to do with the mod here is, as I said, in the real world, the fertilizer spreader is 32 meters, but the lime spreader is 18, and that's based on, you know, the real world new leader hopper here. But overall, I think the modder in question has done a superb job. It's extremely high quality, highly detailed. His mod, you know, his original file is fine. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with it. You know, obviously I've done my own thing and that type of thing to kind of fix a few little issues, but fundamentally the file itself is okay. So I don't have any issue or recommending people download his original zip file, if that makes sense. You know, I've just done my own thing with it. But yeah, I mean, certainly, you know, it would be nice, for example, if these boxes were open by interactive control. I mean, you know, I've got a lot of ideas that, you know, you could put a lot of interactive control in this thing, certainly. Especially in cab as well, you know. But yeah, he's done a fantastic job. There's some little issues here in terms of the hoses. So I don't know if you can see that there. The hoses don't actually connect to the metallic points. They're slightly off in the i3D file. So, you know, he might want to take a look at that as well. These hoses are not positioned properly in the actual i3D file. But other than that, you know, really good stuff, you know. I think he's done a fantastic job, you know. He's got some material stuff that, you know, so for example, these pieces here and these pieces here, they're kind of a grey color when they really should be a metallic, you know, if that makes sense. So once again, these are little issues that maybe he could, address. For example, you can see it's grey. That should be metallic as well, So he's got a few little material color issues that maybe need addressing. But overall, I think the guy has done a really, really solid job, So maybe in 1.1 he'll go through it and he'll fix up certain things and that type of thing. But yeah, the RBR Vector, brand new brand, brand new model. There is nothing else like this out for Farming Simulator. Definitely download it, this is something new and different, and I personally highly recommend it, And there you go, my friends. That's kind of a short one from me. Oh, I don't know if I have the mod here. Oh, I don't know I have. So MyGameSteam, so mods.mygamesteam.com. MyGameSteam released this morning the Jeep Willys pack. So if you want to look at one of my previous videos, you can actually see the Jeep Willys pack. So that is out and available to download for free, by the way. It's completely free. Oh. So yeah. Another thing I want to point out as well. So in the real world, this particular new leader box doesn't have section control. A variable working with. So that's not available in the mod, right? So just be aware of that. Now there is another, say, a more expensive box that's available from New Leader with section control, but this is a kind of a different model that he's using here. Just be aware of that. But yeah, I've tested this with workers, and it works fine with workers as well. So there you go, my friends. That is just kind of a quick look over the RBR Vector 380 from AW Modding. The link is in the description if you want to download it. And yeah, there you go. So my friends, I'm going to leave it here actually. So my friends, I'm going to say thank you all very much for tuning in. Big Daddy, it's great to see you, sir. I haven't seen you in quite a while. Mouse, thank you very much, sir, for tuning in. Brian, thank you. And everyone else as well. I appreciate you tuning in. So my friends, we're going to call it there. I'm going to say thank you all very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And God willing, we shall see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.